is MJ with Blogs4Borders. We're here at Depaul University in Chicago tonight, where Chris Simcox was the featured speaker. Let's start our coverage by looking at a gathering that was in front of a church here on the Depaul campus, led by Enrique Morones of the Border Angels, to protest Mr. Simcox speaking.
United will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. ¿Y qué queremos? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? Vamos a hacer oración for Chris Simcox. Chris Simcox, we send you our love and peace, brother. And we ask God, our Father God, to enter into your heart and stop and remove the demon of racism. For this is America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. And it is because of her that we are allowed to live freely, no matter what color we are, to live and defend.
As we were preparing to go into the event, a crowd started streaming down the sidewalk, chanting and with signs. They picked me out of the crowd, and, well, they weren't very happy to see me. But if you think we're going to show you that before the end of the show, think again.
No supporters, no racists, no borders, no Minutemen 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 supporters. No Minutemen supporters, no racists, no borders, 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 no Minutemen supporters.
The event was fairly uneventful. The crowd inside got a little rowdy. There was a little bit of heckling, but there were none of the more major actions that we've seen at some of Mr. Simcox's other appearances. Here's a taste for you. Hi, it's MJ here with Blogs4Borders. Tonight I'm with Joe Blewett. He's a member of the Depaul Conservative Alliance, and he's going to answer a few questions for us about this meeting with Chris Simcox tonight.
Sure.
First of all, I'd like to know a little bit about the $2,500 that was charged for you guys for security. Has that happened before?
It hasn't happened to our group before,
okay.
And we're not aware of it happening, at least in that amount, to any other student group, having to pay for their own security guards. 20. We had to pay for 20 security guards today.
For 20. And that is still in effect. You guys had to come up with that in order for tonight to happen?
Right. The vice president for student affairs, who's standing out there now, he said if you don't come up with this money, then the event won't happen.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a bit of a biased treatment, but we will find out if they've ever done that before. Another question I wanted to ask you about was on the news last night. They said that there was going to be a DePaul professor here to present an opposing position.
That's right.
And was that part of the plan originally, or was that something that's changed?
It's been part of the plan all along. We always try to have the opposing viewpoint in everything we do, and I think if you look at the history of our events, you'll always see the opposing viewpoint present. It was hard to find somebody who would do this because they know what they might be up against, but we did settle on, I think, a very worthy professor.
Okay. And
now I want to talk quickly about what it means to be a citizen, because I think most Americans, and especially the immigrants who desire to come to America, take their citizenship and hold it in high esteem. They desire more than anything to achieve liberty, freedom, and pursuit of happiness. Citizen is a person owing loyalty to and entitled by birth or naturalization to the protection of a state or nation. You can't have that protection, and you can't have a state or nation without borders. It's clear that that's what defines countries and nations around the world, on this earth. You have to understand that the Minutemen are not about people coming across the border. The Minutemen are about petitioning for a redress of grievances from our government, holding our elected officials accountable for an egregious, deadly, despicable, repugnant violation of human rights along our borders.
I wasn't sure which Mr. Simcox would show up tonight. In fact, several Mr. Simcoxes have shown up tonight. The real test came at the very end when his solutions only deal with issues of law enforcement. On the other hand, he would like you to believe that he's a compassionate person, at the same time rejecting the organizations along the border that are doing life-saving work every day. As I said, I wasn't sure which Mr. Simcox would show up tonight. Don't be deceived as you apply critical reason to his ideas. He has undergone an extreme makeover for his visit to Depaul. He claims not to be a racist. He says no bigotry is tolerated in his movement, but his movement has been thoroughly infiltrated by neo-Nazi and white supremacist organizations who publicize his projects. Try the Aryan Nation, for one. The Aryan Nation has called upon, quote, all Aryan soldiers to join the Minuteman movement. If in fact he is truly committed and sincere in his stance of no bigotry, then I would expect some much more thoroughgoing efforts to make sure that the neo-Nazis and the white supremacist groups are not part of Mr. Simcox's own language.
Yes, we made you wait for it. But here's what happened when we were waiting outside before the event and we were recognized. A crowd surrounds us and starts jeering at me. Have a peek.
That way. You can't.
into this week's episode of the Blogs4Borders video blog burst. And until next week, be vigilant, be vocal, and be unrelenting. We've got a country to save.